The new Chainsaw Man chapter is out, and Yoru says she is in love with America because of nuclear weapons. That was crazy. Let's take a look at this chapter. So the last chapter ended with her realizing that nuclear weapons are back. And this chapter starts off with her saying nuclear weapons. That's right, nuclear weapons. My top favorite devil is the nuclear weapons devil, but how do I remember it? Chainsaw Man ate it up a long time ago. She looks at Denji and says, did he puke it up? But he didn't puke anything up. But this sword did pierce through his stomach. And then Yoru starts to laugh and she says it's not because he puked it up. It's because America reinvented nuclear weapons from scratch. And we see America dropping bombs and the citizens are celebrating. But then the falling devil heals itself and tries to attack Yoru. Then Yoru appears behind her. And then Yoru says, I won, and the falling devil says, come again. And then Yoru says, I'm cold, turn into clothes. And then we see the falling devil fall apart into threads and she's dying. Then Yoru says, of course, I remember everything now. I'm not in love with Denji. I'm in love with America. And then the falling devil starts wrapping around her like clothes. And then in the manga, Fujimoto starts playing the Star Spangled Banner. And it's kind of terrifying because of everything we're seeing on this page. And on the next page, the banner continues and we see a bunch of dead bodies. And it really does show how much destruction and war America has caused. And then we see how the falling devil has become her new clothes. And she's standing there with her hand on her heart. She's crazy. Asa says, Yoru, are you really going to do it? And Yoru says, just sit and watch like a good girl. Then we see Denji and someone pulls his ripcord. Then we see him in a classroom and he says, what the? And then Denji sees the death devil and Denji says, Fami, and she says, actually, I was never Fami, you can call me Little D. That's where the chapter ends off, and I'm so glad that the death devil is actually communicating with Denji now. He can finally get some answers and not be confused about everything going on. But dang, Yoru has nukes now, she is gonna be broken. She seems a little bit mature now, and I wonder how these nukes are going to affect her. Another banger chapter by Fujimoto. Let me know, guys, what you think.